to professionally handle criticism in a business? That's a tricky one, depending on the criticism, of course, but what would be your idea of how to handle unhappy customer?
Let's start with this premise. Ladies and gentlemen, where you live, let me ask you a question. Does the sun shine? Does it rain? The question is not if you're going to get criticism. It's like you said, how do you professionally handle it? And I would say the best thing for you to do is brace yourself, because it's going to happen. You're going to have haters. And when you do get criticism, first of all, look for the silver lining, because sometimes, let's face it, we are at fault. So if it's our fault, we acknowledge that first and foremost, and we do our best to try to make it right. But let's say you have done your best. This person still isn't happy. If it's within, say, your 30-day or 60-day money-back guarantee, give them their money back. But in my opinion, here's where I remember I said, you asked the magic question, is it okay to bring this vendor, a vendor of yours, new business? This is where having an extremely time-sensitive gift certificate to that other business who's doing the same for you, cross-promoting you. You give this unhappy customer that coupon, because you know what? If nothing else, you've generated some goodwill. Because even though they may tell their friends and criticize, oh, I went over to Mark Newsome and blah, 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 but he did do this for me. Whereas my competitors wouldn't dare do this. So you're still building, because they may tell this story 20 times and you may get 3 new customers who come in and say, I heard this happened with my friend, blah, 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 but you did this. Try to make it right. But the main thing I want you to understand, Chico, I hope I'm not butchering your name. It's not if you and I are going to get criticized. The more successful you are, the more haterade you're going to get. So you better develop some thick skin.
Interesting discussion, but it seems to be a lot about face-to-face business. How do we exploit your techniques for online enterprises?
First of all, if you're online, you better have email capability, and you better be capturing your ideal prospects and turns them into leads. So an example, I have a landing page. Again, now if you have a blog, you have a form on there where you're offering something free, but don't be generic and say newsletter. Have a specific problem-solving freebie. Play to a webinar, a replay to a teleseminar, a PDF, something. If you're an e-com store, then you have a discount coupon. But my point is, when you send that very first email, what we call the welcome series, either it's a one message email or a series of emails. In that first email, you have an offer. That's extremely time sensitive. And here's how you transition to it. Oh, by the way, some of you may be interested in this extremely time sensitive offer. Click here and highlight, click here for specific details, exclamation point. Now that's enough of a cliffhanger and a curiosity, don't you want to know what's behind the curtain type offer, that you'll get the people most interested to click. And then you have an offer. Then you switch the offer and you have, so you can do A/B split testing. It's the same offer, but you make something different and you change one variable at a time. So instead of doing this face to face, you can do it email, but let's go a step further. You see, some of you, this is the way you think. You think 9 plus 1 is 10, and that's the only way to get to 10 using addition. But you're neglecting 7 plus 3, 8 plus 2, 5 plus 5, 6 plus 4. You're also neglecting 12 minus 2, 20 divided by 2. This all mathematically is 10. So just because you're online, you still need joint venture partners. You still need cross-promotional partners. Think about this. Let's say there's an offline business that's complementary to yours. You're online, they're offline. Their secondary prize in their free drawing could be your introductory product or service. Point is, get this offline, online stuff out of your mind. Business is business. You're either doing it online, you're doing it off, or you're combining the two as a hybrid. That will definitely work for you. Plenty of businesses are working with offline local businesses, and plenty of local businesses are affiliates of online businesses. And there's so many combinations that you could do, ladies and gentlemen. It'll blow your mind. It really will.